Hi, I'm Jenny, and this is my sweet dog Fuji. And today we're going to go over 5 ways I covered our chain link fences around the property. Fuji. It's the end of summer, and we're going into the fall and the winter season. And all of the things that are covering our chain link fence are looking really good right now. So I wanted to share 5 ways to cover a chain link fence. We are gardening here in Southern California, zone 10 in San Diego. And when we first moved to the property, we only had chain link fence going around the property. And it's great because it's very sturdy and you don't have to worry about it deteriorating like normal wooden fences. But I just didn't really like the look of the chain link. So when I first moved here, I researched all of these ways on how you can cover a chain link fence. This is actually a Bougainvillea that was here when we first got here, and I think it's very beautiful. One of the pros of the Bougainvillea is that it's very beautiful, obviously, and it completely covers the chain link fence. So, and it grows really well here too. I have never watered this plant. It was already established when I got here. But yeah, so I love how it has these beautiful flowers. And also if you were worried about, like, I don't know, people like jumping over your fence or something like that, and you had it covering your entire maybe like front fence or whatnot, it's really pokey. So I would feel like it's kind of like a security fence as well. But one of the cons of the Bougainvillea is that you do have to prune it quite a bit. And it is really pokey. So it can be hard to, you know, get in here without getting snagged and poked and that sort of thing. Another thing is that it does create quite a bit of a mess. Like if you could see right now, it's just kind of like raining bougainvillea flowers. So it's something that if I were to plant bougainvillea again, I would definitely consider the amount that you're gonna have to, the debris that it's gonna have when it's, you know, it's like shedding its flowers. I don't find that to be that difficult or annoying or anything like that, but I really love the bougainvillea, and there's a couple different bougainvillea hedges around the property. So yeah, I just wanted to share one way that you could cover your chain link fence. Another one of my favorites is the Black-eyed Susan vine. It has these really pretty purple flowers. And the thing that I love about this is it grew so quickly and really easily. It's covering the fence from all the way back here, all the way down to our little raised beds. And it really was low maintenance. I do prune it a little bit because these vines do travel and they climb onto other things in the area, but it's not as hard to manage as the bougainvillea. So I really like the Black-eyed Susan vine. I think it's super pretty, and my neighbor really loves it too. So I would definitely plant more of this around the property if I can, because it grows really fast and it's pretty easy to care for. It's really easy to grow, and I just think it's really pretty, and it just kind of makes it feel really magical back here. Over here, I have Espalier apples that I have growing all along this chain link fence. And I really think it's neat because it kind of creates an edible hedge. Everything that I planted around the property, I either wanted it to be beautiful or edible. Because if I'm going to spend the time to plant something, care for it, fertilize it. Hi, Fuji. Hi. So the one con of the espalier apple trees is that they do lose their leaves in the wintertime. So then they kind of just look like sticks. So it's not really like a hedge all year round, which is why I've planted some banana trees around this area to kind of mix in something that's evergreen. It's going to look pretty all year round, and something that's going to lose its leaves. I love that not only is it pretty, but it's also edible. So I get apples from the espalier fruit trees. One thing that is a con is that it's a little bit difficult to train, and I've sort of just let this one go wild and kind of create a screen. But I do have some sticks on either side and then like a string that's going across to kind of train the espalier. But that's something that you kind of have to plan out and think about before you plant it. But I'm really happy with our little edible hedge of beautiful apples. So this is my favorite way to cover the chain link fence. This is passion fruit or lilikoi, and I planted this about 2 years ago, and as you can see, it's almost completely creating a wall over the chain link fence. So the nice thing about passion fruit is that it has these gorgeous flowers, which, here we go, which I think are just so pretty, and then delicious fruit. And it's almost the end of the season, but I've been collecting all of this passion fruit and I've been pureeing it into for juice and desserts and that sort of thing. So again, it's something that I think is really beautiful. It is pretty low maintenance, grows really quickly, and you don't really have to do a whole lot of pruning. I do a little bit of pruning because I actually want to see a little bit through the chain link fence. I want to see if there's any coyotes in the area, but you could just let it create an entirely green wall. And yeah, the only thing is it does grow really quickly. So I think you do need something pretty sturdy, like a chain link fence or a pretty good trellis. But I just think this is the perfect way to cover a chain link fence, especially if you live in Southern California, Zone 10. It grows like wild around here. So I would definitely recommend growing passion fruit. Fuji, what are you doing, honey? What are you doing, Fuji? Over here, this is Morning Glory, and I just purchased this at a local nursery. And I planted this probably about a year and a half or so ago. And the nice thing about this is I think that the flowers are very beautiful. It's like this beautiful purple color, and I always see hummingbirds flying and drinking the little nectar out of these flowers. So I love that it attracts hummingbirds, and then also has these really pretty flowers, and it grows very quickly. The only thing is it does get a little bit out of control. I've had to cut this way back a few times, and it does lose some of its leaves. So like in the wintertime, it kind of starts looking not as vibrant as this, but in the spring and in the fall, right around now, it looks super pretty. And I'm really glad that I planted it, and I really like the looks of it. The only thing is, yeah, I mean, it can start looking kind of weird. And I did notice when it kind of got, when it had like a bunch of like vines and it was getting really thick, I did notice some like mice and stuff like that inside of this. But I think that could happen probably to the Bougainvillea as well. So I still love this plant, and I love the way it looks against the chain link and our little wooden gate here. So thank you so much for stopping by our little farmstead, and we will see you next time. Fuji. Cookie Temple. Cookie Temple.